Greetings, my comrades, and welcome back to Zanolith. We have finally made it. It's time for the Unova League. Now, because this arc is so long, I'm going to be splitting up Part 11 into two parts. So today we are going to be covering Part 11A, and next time we will be covering Part 11B. I know this is somewhat kind of complicated, but I felt like it was better than making it 11 and 12. I don't know why, my mind works weird sometimes, but you know, we are just gonna go with it. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into the climax of What If I Wrote Pokemon the Series, Black and White. Our trio is finally back in Castelia City, home of the Unova League Castelia Conference. Ash is beyond excited, but also extremely nervous. On one hand, he is ready to face off against all of his rivals in some ultimate battles, but he also has to face N. Zekrom is still asleep, and if the legendary dragon doesn't awaken soon, N's world of Pokemon liberation is guaranteed. However, Ash holds his head up high, determined to not only defeat N and Reshiram, but to also make it to the very top. When Ash goes to register, he runs into his rivals once again, being Hilbert, Trip, and Iris, who somehow was able to earn all 8 gym badges in time for the league. They also run into Charon and Bianca, who have come here to cheer on Ash and Hilbert. Ash also spots N in the distance and remembers this league won't just be fun and games. Perhaps all of Ash's journeys have led up to this moment, leading up to his confrontation against N. Anyway, the group makes their way to the hotel and gets situated. The group then meets up for a dinner which is being held by the head of the Pokemon League, Charles Goodshow, who welcomes all the participants of the league, telling them that this is the competition to crown the strongest trainer in the Unova region, and that he looks forward to all the battles that await him and wishes every single one of them the best of luck. The next day, the first round, the top 32, begins, and the battles are 3-on-3. Ash, Trip, Hilbert, and Iris are all able to advance to the next round after defeating their respective opponents. Next up, N will be facing off against Marlin, an ex-gym leader who decided to take on the Pokemon League. He is actually the fan favorite to win this league after performing so well during his gym challenge, only losing no more than a single Pokemon in every single gym battle. The battle begins and Marlin sends out his ace Pokemon, Mantine. However, even this competent trainer wasn't ready for what happens next. Reshiram! Reshiram emerges from the sky and flies into the stadium, shocking everyone. Ash then clenches his fists at the sight, as N and Reshiram take out all 3 of Marlin's Pokemon in one hit, advancing N to the top 16. The entire stadium is terrified as N makes his declaration of war, telling the trainers of the world that he rejects the oppression they force their Pokemon upon, that he will never allow these acts of enslavement and oppression to continue. He declares to everyone in the stadium that he will win this league and defeat the champion, and that once he does, he will make people in Pokemon separate forever. Ash then shouts at N, telling him that he will stop him, getting the attention of the entire stadium. N just smirks and tells Ash he looks forward to their confrontation. After this, the top 32 comes to an end and we are moving on to the top 16, which are already 6-on-6 Pokemon battles. It's then revealed that Ash will be facing off against Trip in the next round, which excites both of the rivals. It seems the one who will finally battle Alder will be decided tomorrow. The next day, the top 16 is underway. Hilbert is able to defeat his opponents using only 4 Pokemon, and Iris is able to take out her opponent only using 5. and of course is able to take down a full team of 6 with just Reshiram. Now it's time for the final match of the top 16, Ash versus Trip. Trip tells Ash that it has been an honor being his rival, and that because of him, he has been able to learn a lot. However, even though Ash has a lot of experience under his belt, Trip declares that all of his research has brought him to this point, and he won't let it go to waste, telling Ash that he will come at him with everything he has. Ash responds saying he wouldn't have it any other way as the battle begins. Both of them start off with Unpheasant, who are ready to take each other on once again. They then fly into the sky with extreme speeds, using all that they have, not wanting either one to get the advantage. But neither are done. Despite being weakened, they are both determined. Both of them scream with all they have as they charge at each other one last time. In the end, both knock each other out. Next up is Vanillux and Darmanitan. This battle goes quite smoothly for Ash due to Darmanitan having a lot more of an aggressive battling style and having its type advantage. Both of these factors is what allows Darmanitan to take out Vanillux. However, things don't go as smooth when Trip sends out his third Pokemon, Jellicent. Jellicent is able to take out Darmanitan not only because of its type advantage, but also because Darmanitan was weakened due to its last battle. So Darmanitan is taken out. Next up is Servine, who uses Attract on the Jellicent, but it's to no avail as Trip's Jellicent is in fact a female. Trip takes this chance to deal damage to Servine, who is knocked back by a Scald, which also burns it in the process. However, Servine won't give up. She's too stubborn to go down so easily. A few attacks later, and Servine is successfully able to take down Jellicent. Trip then sends in his next Pokemon, being Chandelure. He is already able to make quick work of the weakened and burnt Servine due to the type advantage. Next up is Duat, who goes head-to-head with Chandelure. Despite the type advantage, Duat is having quite the hard time attacking the Chandelure due to its incredible speed. However, Ashton tells Duat to close its eyes and focus, telling Duat to use sound instead of sight. This strategy is what allows Duat to get the upper hand against Chandelure, knocking it out. Next up is Trip's Conkeldurr, who challenges Duat to a battle of the sword. Or, I guess concrete in Conkeldurr's case. The two charge at each other like two knights fighting in a way, with Ash and Trip being their respective kings. However, the knight who has been fighting for a while does not stand a chance against a powerful knight who has just entered the fray. Duat is taken out by Conkeldurr and now are both down to 2 Pokemon left, talking about Ash and Trip. Next up is Crocodile, who is able to quickly take out the weakened Conkeldurr. Finally, Trip sends in his ace, Serperior. Crocodile tries using his brute force to take Serperior down, but due to Serperior's wrap, Crocodile can do nothing as it's squeezed to its knees. Ash calls for an attack, but it's no use as Serperior knocks out Crocodile with Dragon Tail, leaving Ash with only 1 Pokemon left, Pikachu, who is ready to battle. Ash and Pikachu charge headfirst at Trip and Serperior, who are ready for all of their attacks. However, Pikachu is able to dodge a majority of Serperior's attacks, but is then grabbed by Wrap. Pikachu is struggling to get out, and Ash thinks to himself this is not how it can end. He can't lose here. He can't afford to lose here. N is waiting for him, and he can't lose to him no matter what. He has to protect the ideals he has stood by for his whole life. Just then, Ash's backpack glows brighter than ever before as a surge of energy surrounds Pikachu. Pikachu then breaks free from the wrap as a storm surrounds the stadium. Pikachu has become its supercharged form once again, and he screams as loud as he can, with a roar being heard alongside the cry of Zekrom. Ash thinks to himself that Zekrom has not given up on him. This is just a little more needed to awaken him, that his ideals and Pikachu's ideals are strong enough to take on N. Ash and Pikachu then charge at Serperior with all they have, and Serperior, despite being as strong as it is, can't take all the power Pikachu is emitting. 1 Thunderbolt later, and Serperior goes down, making the winner of this battle, Ash. Zekrom's power then disappears as Pikachu falls to the ground. Ash catches his partner and walks over to Trip, who, while disappointed, tells Ash that this was the best battle he has ever had, and that Ash certainly didn't disappoint. He tells Ash that he is the one who is truly worthy to battle Alder. Ash says he should stick around and watch them battle once he wins the league. However, Trip declines, saying that he can't stick around here as he needs to get back to his training, saying that he can't let Ash get ahead of him for too long, and that he needs to bounce back from this. The two rivals shake hands as the crowd cheers. The top 16 comes to an end, and now the top 8 matchups are here, and it is revealed that Ash will be taking on Hilbert next in a full 6-on-6 Pokemon battle. Now it is the next day, and it is time for the top 8, where Ash will take on his rival, Hilbert. The top 8 goes smoothly, with both Iris and N advancing in the first 2 rounds. Ash and Hilbert face off in the third match of the top 8, and it's a full 6-on-6 Pokemon battle. The battle begins with Hilbert sending out Throw and Ash sending out Darmanitan. The battle starts off as one of fighting types, and neither Pokemon will give in to each other's will. The two battle for a decently long time, and the two eventually tire themselves out, but Throw, after using Bulk Up, just has enough energy to KO Darmanitan. Next up, Ash sends in Unfezant, who makes quick work of Throw, who is severely weakened despite the boost from Bulk Up. Hilbert's second Pokemon is Galvantula, and just like what Unfezant did previously to Throw, Galvantula takes Unfezant out pretty quickly due to its type advantage. It is here Ashton starts to worry. Hilbert is exceptionally strong and talented. Does he really stand a chance at defeating him? No, he can't think like that. Ash's third Pokemon is Pikachu, who comes in to face off with Galvantula. The arena then becomes one of electricity as the two decide to have an all-out electric-type Pokemon battle. However, Pikachu, just like always, is able to pull through and give the win to Ash. Hilbert's third Pokemon is Caracosta, who despite putting in great effort, is taken out by Pikachu as well. Hilbert, after returning Caracosta, then gives Ash a demonic smile and starts to cackle, telling Ash he is truly amazing, but this is as far as he goes. He didn't come all this way just to be defeated here and now. He declares to Ash that if he wants to win, he's gonna have to push past all of his limits. Hilbert then sends in Emboar, who in a matter of seconds takes out Pikachu, who is extremely tired after taking out 2 of Hilbert's Pokemon. Ash then sends out Crocodile, who barrages Emboar with multiple attacks. Hilbert just smirks as he and Emboar fight Ash and Crocodile in perfect sync, and Emboar's overwhelming power eventually gets the best of Crocodile. Hilbert also calls back Emboar after this battle. Next up are Servine and Archeops, who go at each other just like they did at the Driftveil City Battle Tournament. However, unlike last time, Archeops is itching for its revenge. The two battle for a decently long time, each not giving the other the upper hand. However, in the end, Archeops takes down Servine, but not before being taken out itself. Things are getting a bit rough. Ash only has Duat, and Hilbert has 2 Mons, including his ace. But once again, there is no time for doubts. Next up are Duat and Braviary, and the Pokemon fight with all their might. However, Duat, wanting to fight its rival no matter what, takes down Braviary with sheer determination alone. Now it's down to only 2 Pokemon, Emboar and Duat. Ash tells Hilbert that today is the day they will finally beat him, that he and Duat worked harder than anyone to get where they are today, that they climbed so many hurdles and worked together, and that he wanted a fight where they could work together. Ash tells Hilbert and Emboar to come at him with all they got, because this time they aren't losing. Hilbert then gets fired up and tells Ash that he apologizes, but he'll be the one who is going home, and that he doesn't care if he has to fight that N guy. Ash is his main rival, and he refuses to let him beat him. Duat takes out his Scale Chops, and that's it. The battle's on. The two charge at each other with such speed. Although Emboar has the size, it's a lot slower compared to Duat, who is able to dodge a majority of his attacks. Ash and Duat are more in sync than they have ever been before, and Hilbert acknowledges this, but it doesn't distract him. He then commands Emboar to use Fire Pledge, and Ash commands Duat to use Water Pledge. The combination of the two attacks surrounds the entire stadium in steam. However, when the steam clears, Duat is glowing bright, and in a moment of determination unlike any before, evolves into Samurott, who roars with all his might. Ash tells Samurott that he is super proud of him and that it's time to finish this. Emboar goes in for an arm thrust and Samurott goes in for a Razor Shell. The two collide, and the one who is standing in the end is, of course, Samurott. Ash has done it. He's beaten Hilbert. He has finally bested him and Emboar, and him and Samurott did it together. Hilbert comes over to Ash and shakes his hand, saying that he hates to admit it, but he is truly the superior trainer. That him and Samurott have come a long way since they first battled him back on Route 3. He tells Ash to not let his guard down, and that he'll be coming back for a rematch one day, which Ash gladly accepts. The top 8 ends and the top 4 matches are decided, and it looks like it's finally time. Ash is matched up against N and Reshiram. Looks like the battle of truths and ideals is finally here.